Today marks the end of the line for the once wildly popular comic strip featuring Little Orphan Annie. Richard Schlesinger has her story.
Gusts come out tomorrow, so you gotta hang on to tomorrow, come what may.
A little orphan and her dog getting into scrapes, suffering setbacks, but always triumphing. The saltiest phrase Little Orphan Annie ever uttered was "leapin' lizards."
It's the hard knock life for us.
But the themes are so universal, she's made it to the movies.
Leaping lizards, there is someone still in this barn.
Yes, there is, Annie.
Been on radio.
I'm poor as a mouse.
Even on Broadway.
I'm richer than Midas.
In the first strip, on August 5th, 1924, Annie is still in the orphanage. But soon she was adopted by the Warbucks family and a large part of the nation.
Whom do you see? It's Little Orphan Annie.
Little Orphan Annie was part soap opera, part soap box. Conservative cartoonist Harold Gray used his characters in thinly veiled attacks on FDR, big government, and labor unions. Jeet Heer has chronicled her story.
In some ways, Little Orphan Annie was the original Tea Party activist. The government was bad and that you really have to work hard by yourself.
While he was still a broadcaster, the late North Carolina Senator Jesse Helms wrote an editorial praising Annie, who he said never succumbed to the philosophy of turning to the government for security.
Did you have to be political? Did you have to be right-wing to like Little Orphan Annie?
Oh, no. There were like all sorts of people who were reading Annie. It was one of the most popular comic strips of the time.
And I'll bet you didn't know that Little Orphan Annie was originally Little Orphan Otto, a boy, or so the story goes. Legend has it the sex change came after the publisher of the newspaper syndicate thought he looked more like a she. So Harold Gray drew a dress on his character, and the rest is history.
And those empty eyes became a trademark of sorts. On the few occasions cartoonist Gray gave Annie pupils, the fans didn't like it.
He liked his characters to look like they were wearing masks because he said that the emptier a character is, the more people could put their emotions in.
In today's final strip, Annie is once again in peril, facing the butcher of the Balkans. Is it Annie's end? Probably not. Just recently, plans were announced to revive the Broadway musical Annie. Even after 85 years, Little Orphan Annie is still a little girl with a lot of life left in her.